Hello everyone, MC Art Guy here. So the other day I was trying out a new pack of Sharpies, and I was just testing them out, swatching them out, and I said, I'll start coloring with them and start drawing a picture. And I remembered that they were alcohol based, so I said, since these are alcohol based, they should be able to blend really well like a Copic, since Copics are alcohol based. So I decided to do a picture, quick little sketch and blend with them, and I said, hey, this works. Well, if they work just like Copics do, they blend nice, then how come they're so much less expensive than the Copics? Because Copics are like $7 a marker. And I decided to test the Sharpies against the Copic markers to see if you really need expensive art supplies to make good art, or if you can make good art with inexpensive art supplies. Now I've tried to color match as best I can here. I know some of them might not work. I know this blue color might not, but I've color matched as best as I can, and I'm going to do some swatches real quick. Starting off with the red. Okay, so as you can see, they look the same. Like, this is very smooth, and the Sharpie also looks pretty smooth, and the colors are opaque, they're rich, they're vibrant. So far, I'm not seeing that much of a difference. Here are the finished swatches. Now the Copics are the markers on the left and the Sharpies are the markers on the right. And in my opinion, they look really good. They both look really good. I think that the Sharpie is definitely a good competitor for the Copics in my opinion, because they both have the even layout, they both lay down really smoothly, nice good color, and I've blended with them before. The Sharpies blend really well. So I'm going to do a drawing comparing the two to see, just put it up to that final test. So for my first drawing, for my first test with the Copic versus Sharpie, I decided to do a Spiderman mask because it's very simple colors and I didn't have a lot of Copic and Sharpie colors that I could color match for this video, so I just needed something simple, like simple with colors. So with the drawing, I colored with Copics on the left side of the face, or the superhero mask, and on the right side I used Sharpies to fill in color and to shade. So here you're seeing me with the red Copic marker, and I'm just filling in the mask, and I'm taking my black Copic marker, making the outlines for its little eye areas, and I'm using the black Copic to draw the web design on this mask. So on the right side you are seeing me take my red Sharpie marker and fill in his face. Now I made like the sides of his face a little big, and throughout the whole process of making this I tried to adjust the sides to make them look proportionate, but that just ended up looking really bad. So you're going to see me try to fix that throughout this process, and it's not going to work for a while, but then I just decided to paint over it with acrylic, because acrylic fixes everything. It's the duct tape of the paint world, in my opinion. And here you are seeing me with the Copic marker again, and I'm filling in the lower half of his neck and his shoulders that I drew. And I'm using the Copic, and then I'm using the Sharpie on the right side, like I've been doing throughout the whole process. Now here you're seeing me do some shading with a light blue Copic marker and with a light blue Sharpie. So I was just putting the colors on top of the red, the blue on top of the red, and I was just using the red to blend out that blue so it looked like a nice soft shadow. So that's what I was doing there with the blue. And I also used the blue to shade the areas around his nose and his mouth so they would look like the shadow there. Okay, so this is how the final piece looks. It's not great, but I did do some blending with the blue and the red, and then went over that blue with the red, so it made that nice little shadow. And yes, they are pretty similar. This is the dividing line right here. They do look pretty similar. I'm going to do one more piece, and I'm going to try to make it one that's really full of just a lot of blends, so we'll see how that works. I'm just going to do some swatches for blends and see how that goes. This is with Copics at first, then I'm going to do just one with Sharpies, and then I'm going to do blending a Copic to a Sharpie. So there we have a nice little gradient from blue to green with Copic. I tried blue to red, that was a mistake. So now I'm going to do it with the Sharpies from blue to green. So that's actually got a pretty good blend to it. This is the Copic, this is the Sharpie. That's really good. So now I'm going to do a blue Copic blended into a green Sharpie. Huh, well, would you look at that? So this is the Copic blend, Sharpie blend, Copic to Sharpie. I would say that they're all pretty even and that they're pretty equal as far as blending. So the start of this drawing was admittedly kind of off to a slow start. Like, I started doodling some flowers because I was like, oh, maybe I could get something blendable out of that. I kind of was able to, not really, so it was just kind of a slow start for this, but again, I did the Copic markers on the left side and the Sharpies on the right side, and I was just blending it out, trying to get different shades and values, and yeah. So my process here was to take the light blue Copic marker color or the Sharpie marker, light blue, and just draw the little base for the bird. Then I took the darker blue marker and I made like the little areas of shadow or where it needed to be darkened. And then I blended it all together with the light blue marker again to get the soft shadows, soft blends, whatever. So I did that for both the Copic bird that I drew on the left and the Sharpie bird that I drew on the right. So same process for both. And the story to this is these are two little lovebirds sitting on branches, and yeah, there are flowers around them. I tried to incorporate that strange doodle from the beginning, and I think it worked okay. And they're standing in front of a stained glass window on some branches, none of which are drawn in yet, but they will be. So that's the story. Wilhelmina is the bird on the right, and William is the bird on the left, and they're getting married. Yay! Congratulations, little burbs.
Okay, so this is the final product. This is the Copic side, and this is the Sharpie side. I added in a stained glass window in the background because I needed something to fill up the space, if you know what I mean. So yeah, these are my two lovebirds. Yeah, okay. And yeah, I can't really tell any difference between the Sharpie ink and the Copic ink. I think that they're both really good alcohol inks, and that Sharpies are a very good, inexpensive alternative to the expensive Copic marker. The only downfall with the Sharpie is that you only have like a bullet nib. You don't have the versatility of the Copic marker, having the chisel and the brush nib. So that's my own thing, but otherwise they're equal. So thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe down below and you like the video too, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.